Hey guys, we're back with Chaos Child. Last time, everything sucks, but it's okay. Gen is here, and Gen-san would never betray us. I'm still 50-50 on what's gonna happen with him. I hope he doesn't betray. Where am I? Right here, right here. So Takiro was just, attacked by two people. That he was a killer. He was saved by Gen. I was hiding out at his RV. Well, no one will find him. No one. Not at all. Like, now that they've made Ito evil, I hope they don't make Gen evil. Like, I've been suspicious of him since the beginning, because back in Chaos Ed, there was a plot point that, like, they had the homeless people use, like, the mind control backpackers. I swear I'm not making that up. That sounds ridiculous. I know, but that's a real plot point. Gen-san took me by a quiet, lonely route to his fortress, Miyashita Park. Of course, the police had come to the park in droves as well, but Gen-san and the other homeless had told them nothing. Gen is the #1 patriot. Thanks to them, the cops didn't even know which RV was mine yet. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to come here. Felt like a long time since I'd come here, even though it really hadn't been that long at all. Two boys who'd attacked me must have called the cops. I could hear sirens going by in the distance. But this probably wouldn't be safe forever either. Yeah? Gen-san took another bottle of liquor and started to sip from it. Question mark? Gen-san fell silent. He looked at me like he was trying to work himself up to say something, but looked away and took another drink. Never seen him like this before. Grabbed my arms around my aching body and waited for him to speak. After a long time, don't remind me about no. Oh. Pain worse than the one from my injury suddenly ran through my whole body. The news wasn't talking about anything else, so it wouldn't surprise me if Gen-san knew about it. He has unfailing trust in Takiro. How could he be evil?
That
is a fair... Why didn't I think of that? We didn't see her die. It even said Takiro took her to the hospital. Is she dead? This time, when the question reached my mind, I understood exactly what he was asking. Was No really dead? Sat in this familiar RV, asking myself the question again and again. Gen-san took sips from his bottle and waited for me. Yeah. Didn't know how long it took me to do it, but I slowly nodded. No is gone. Don't use ambiguous phrasing. Does Gen no? Does Gen no? Look down, feeling like I admitted to some horrible, unfixable mistake. I couldn't lift my head at all. For some reason, I didn't cry. Aw. Can't tell if it's turning 9 or if that's mind control powers darkening the world. The sun set and another hour passed. Never did make it back to Albert Dorm. Gen-san's friends had told me that the police were watching it. It was impossible to even get close to the place. I tried to go anyway, but Gen-san took a gulp of liquor and said this to stop me. Dot. I mean, he's only helping Takiro. Lose. That was when I suddenly remembered what I'd been thinking about the last time I was in the club room. Like the killer was a player in the game, challenging me. That player was, though I still couldn't believe it, my childhood friend. Kept losing to every move she made, stolen away some of the people I'd cared about. What if I'd been able to win the game? This whole nightmare never would have happened then, right? Gen-san, sorry, but I need your help with something.
Ooh, easy. Tadashi, 世を雇うには金がかかる。つけにしとくからよ。全部終わったらちゃんと払えよ。
Takiro will have to buy the magazines for Gen. Gen-san gulped down the last of the alcohol from his cup. Went with Gensan and a few of his friends to a certain condo in Daikanyama, deliberately choosing the routes with the least amount of people. We passed by police officers several times, but because of Gan and the others, no one suspected me.
あそこがそうなのかい?
Is this Serika's apartment? Yeah, just help me get inside. Do the rest myself. Or is this?
わかった。
It's not
さっさ
Rico's.
と済ませちまいな。
This was Serika's house. It's the place I've been heading to the night I lost Kryusu. Came here a few times, though not often. Back when I first left the Alba dorm and went to live in Miyashita Park, I didn't know how to get food or do my laundry. Serika had helped me out. I'd used her shower, sometimes even stayed the night. Of course, nothing lewd had happened between. Well, you saying that, like, that makes me think something lewd happened between you. I looked up and saw the lights were off. There's no sign of any police or detectives. Okay, let's go. Took Gensan inside and left the others behind. Sorry, Gen's friends, you don't get to be characters. Went to Serika's room and used my power to open up all the locks. Taking Gensan with me because I couldn't real boot my power on its own. Gensan's eyes had gone wide when he'd seen the door open. All he said was, because I must be drinking too much. Okay, Gen, thank you, you can go home now.
じゃあ、気ぃつけてやりな。
Gensan patted me on the back and left. After I watched him leave, I went inside. I had a sense if someone else was in the room before I turned the lights on. There's no one there, including Serika. Once I was sure I was alone, I turned on the light switch. Oh, what the? It was a normal room. If anything, it was a little more grown up than you'd expect from a teenage girl. It's me! Look, they put me in the game! The room wasn't especially messy. I was hiding in Serika's apartment the whole time. You guys never even suspected it. Shinjo-san and the others had supposedly come here once. They hadn't ransacked the place in their search. Where did you go? Almost it said that they found nothing here to indicate where Serika had gone. I came here because I wanted to know what Serika was really after. What was I supposed to do now? When I did find Serika, what would I do then? Ask questions? A little sword fight. If I did, what kind of answers would satisfy me? What kind of answers would be good enough? Satisfied? Good. Nothing she could ever say would justify what she did. Turned on Serika's computer, not even being sure what I should be looking for. Opened each file I couldn't find and looked inside. Nothing here after all. None of the files were important, just like Momose had said. There's a folder marked Newspaper Club, which is filled with information about the case. It's all stuff I'd already seen at school. Wait, what about the drawers? Open one of them. Ah, come on! Flinched back when I saw what was inside. Sumo stickers. Not just one or two. There are tons. All of them were the real 11th Rorschach. What are these doing here? Serika just like to, you know, torture herself sometimes. What? Does it work on her? Because she's seen it before and she just went, oh, how creepy, and like didn't really have like a visceral reaction like Aomori and Takuro did. In a moment where it felt as though I was suffering from cerebral anemia, my vision suddenly darkened. Barely managing to stay conscious, looked away from the drawer. What about No-No? No-No's seen it at some point, and hasn't she? Maybe? I don't remember. When the stickers disappeared from my sight, I forced myself to take control before any horrible delusions could overcome me. Sweat trickled down my forehead. I quickly tried to shut the drawer, then I heard a metallic sound inside. Question mark? Rummaged through the drawer with my hand, being careful to avoid looking at the stickers. Touched something hard and flat. Pulled it down and quickly slammed the drawer shut. What is this? Ah! The metal sticker. What? It's my phone. I guess that makes the most sense, right? Like, Serika saw Takuro drop it. She just went to Lost and Found the next day. Hey, can I have the phone? I dropped it. Thanks. It wasn't the new one I was using now. The one I dropped and lost at the AH Tokyo General Hospital. Scared, I turned it on. Saw the picture it set as my wallpaper. The photo I'd taken with my family. Still charged? Dang it, they caught me! Ah! The door suddenly opened. I heard the click of a cocking gun behind me. I have my NFT. Nothing can stop me now. I almost turned around and a low voice told me to stop. That's not Shinjo, is it? I don't know. I've never heard Shinjo be excited before. He always sounds a little depressed. Oh no, that's definitely a cop. Was I gonna be arrested here? If I was, that'd be the end of everything. Wouldn't be able to escape no matter what excuses I try to make. Doki dead. Sorry. Won't be coming home. He's here. Use delusion powers. Make like a shield. You're a gigglomaniac. Use your power. You can escape easily. That's what a tempting voice said from somewhere in the corner of my mind. If I ran, that'd make them think I really was the killer. But never went to trial. Looked very bad. Shut up, Ghost Serika. You're not real. The real one's not real either, but you're definitely not real. I heard a voice I recognized in my head. Was I hallucinating from exhaustion? Or was she using telepathy? The man I thought was a police officer suddenly sounded surprised. Is it Shinjo? That sounded like Shinjo. Huh? It was only then that I realized who it was. Twisted my upper body to look at who was behind me. Hey! Shinjo-san! Shinjo-san! Don't be evil, please. Almost collapsed from relief. Shinjo-san put his gun away and sighed as he walked over to me. I love breaking the crime scenes. What can I say? He clenched his hand into a fist and bopped me on the head. Ow! What, his phone? Stared at my face. Oh yeah. Oh, this is... Explain what happened this afternoon. Shinjo-san sighed again. Dot dot dot. Is this the Takuryu Shinjo team up we've always wanted? It's like back in Chaos Ed, you know, I was always kind of hoping Bon and Takumi would kind of get together, you know, do something. That never happened. Bon just dies. After a long enough pause that Shinjo-san started to get suspicious, I answered him honestly. I don't know. Nani? I was planning on looking for her, then I realized that I didn't know what I'd do when I found her. Why had Serika done this? Was she really responsible for everything else that had happened too? If she said yes, would I believe her? If she said yes, what would I do? What do you think I want to do, Shinjo-san? Gun? Shinjo-san took something out of his suit pocket and handed it to me. Question mark?
申し訳ないが、中は改めさせてもらった。何が手がかりになるかわからなかったから。青葉寮を捜索していた時に出てきたんだ。本来君たちだけが読むべきものだった。警察の他の連中には読まれていないが、すまない。
Shinjo-san bowed his head a little. I assume it's like Nono's diary or something. Explains her past with Senri and being a gigolo. Oh, on the front of the envelope was written, "To my beloved family." On the back of the envelope was the name Nono. Oh no. Writing this in case something terrible happens. Thank you for everything. Everything in my room is yours to use. Happy if you kept the furniture to the next person who became a part of our family. And I'm sorry I won't be able to help the clinic anymore. All the paperwork I haven't finished is in the drawer in the exam room. The medical books I borrowed are on the shelf, on my shelf. And when I said I wanted to be a nurse, all you said was, "Oh, I see." Thought you might have been opposed to it, but you actually knew what I wanted to do for a long time, didn't you? Do you hear me talking with one of the patients? Do you just know somehow? Started with what you said when I was helping Taku with his physical therapy. You're doing a great job for someone who hasn't gotten to school. I'm impressed. Sure, that's just the way a father is. Love the rules you made for our family. Thank you. Covered in rows of neatly handwritten letter words. My beloved family. Okay. Hold on, we don't need to hear Nono read this. You heard this in my beautiful voice.
やりかけていたジム借りていたままの医学書は、そういえばあの時は 私と患者さんが話してるのを聞いた。
A little bit more.
きっかけはきっと
There.
くれぐれも飲みすぎには注意してください。言うとウキへ大変
Okay,
な
this is
時なの
after Yui
に
died then.
こんなことになってしまってごめんね。
They didn't necessarily say this was right before, she left.
ユイのことは言い訳のしようもありません。止めることができなかった私の責任です。ユウト、口うるさいお姉ちゃんでごめんね。今になって思うとちょっと厳しすぎたかなと思っています。
Is this Yuto's room? I don't think we've seen it before.
あなたは男の子なんだからもっと自由にやりたかったでしょうね。ウキ、家族にとって一緒にいた時間の長さなんて私は関係ないと思っています。
I mean, surely it matters a little.
大切なのは目の前でどれだけ泣いたり怒ったりしたか、どれだけみっともないところを見せ合ってどれだけ気持ちを積み重ねることができたかだと思います。
Yeah, so she's just saying Uki's seen the least of that, so that she likes Uki the least.
あなたはタクルの妹でユウトのお姉さんで父さんの娘。女の子一人じゃ大変だと思うけどよろしくお願いね。そしてタクルへ。
That's me.
あなたと約束したのに破ってしまってごめんなさい。これがどんな結果になるか分かりません。いえ、たとえどんな結果になったとしてもきっとあなたは納得できないでしょう。でももし私に何かあったとしても絶対に復讐しようなんて思わないで。
She knows that will never happen.
今回のこと間違いなくあの子が関係しているからあなたは理由が気になるでしょう。でもできることならもう能力のことは忘れてほしい。学校でもっと友達を作って彼女も見つけてその子のために素敵な男の子になりなさい。あなたがいつもバカにしているようなどうでもいい話でもしながら楽しいデートをしなさい。
Haku will never be a wrong sider. Not gonna
あな
happen.
たが時間の無駄だと思っているようなどうでもいい遊びを友達と一緒にしなさい。
Wait, what friends? He just has Kazuki and Arimura left.
だって文化祭の準備をしているあなたは楽しそうに見えたもの。家で私あなたが他の人と自分は違うって口癖のように言うたびになぜそこまで意地になるんだろうっていつも不思議に思ってた。確かにあなたには他の人にない力がある。他の人が言う普通とは家庭環境だって違うかもしれない。でもだからといってムキになって自分を孤独の中へ閉じ込めるのはどうかなって思う。私にはあなたがたくさんの人の中に埋もれてしまうのを怖がっているように見えた。
Okay, sorry to interrupt this Wilson. What is this advertisement? It's like the evolutionary like monkey thing, and then it's a person with a gun at the end. Hey, what is this trying to say? I don't know. Sorry.
埋もれてしまう程度の自分だと思いたくない。そんな風に怯えているように見えた。でも私はそうは思わない。私の中であなたは埋もれたりしない。たとえあなたがみんなと同じように遊んだりしていても。だって私の大事な家族だから。
So I hate this. Will scenes like this, they always get me.
あ、でも髪は染めてほしくないな。タクルには絶対に似合わないと思うし。これは余談。
Blonde hair Takeru arc?
最後に タクルにずっと聞いてほしかった大切なこと。ここに書き残そうと思ったけれど、ダメでした。
Don't do a romantic confession,
許
please.
してください。
That would ruin everything for me.
いつかどこかでそれを知ったとき、あなたはきっと私のことを軽蔑し、そして嫌うでしょう。でもどうか、私がタクルのことを思う心だけは疑わないでください。
Okay, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like it's gonna be a plot thing.
私はあなたのことが好きです。この気持ちだけは嘘じゃないと信じてもらえるなら、それだけで私は幸せです。そろそろ行かなきゃいけない時間になりました。勝手なことしてごめんね、タクル。
But is that the thing? Is it... Are you supposed to read that as romantic or familial? Is that how you say familial? Like, I'm reading it as familial, but I don't want it, like, I don't know.
もう一度言う。何もかも忘れて、他の人と同じ日常を、だけど埋もれないように、強く、しっかりと過ごしていってください。できることなら、この手紙が読まれるようなことになりませんように。2015年11月3日。のの。
Okay, so it was like probably right before she left. Huh? Tears started to pour from my eyes as soon as I finished. Well, you know, she knew it was Serica by then, so yeah, it had to be after she found out right before she left. Tried to wipe them away, but they wouldn't stop. Fell to the floor, holding Nono's letter in my hands. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop sobbing. As I cried aloud in my mind, I was apologizing to Nono over and over again. November 5th, 2015, Thursday. Still the same day, right? He slept a whole day, so same time. Oh! Appreciate credit Borio. Okay.
そう、わかったわ。宮代ちゃん、犯人の子の家にいたそうよ。
Momose moved the phone away from her ear and relayed Shinjo's message to Kunosato. Kunosato stopped typing in her computer and grabbed the phone away from her.
新庄さん、宮代に代わってくれ。確認したいことがある。
She must have not liked the answer she got back, because she looked annoyed.
だったら、なるべく早くこちらに連れてきてくれ。大まかにだが、データの洗い出しと検索が終わった。結果は、今そっちに落ち込んでいる時間などないと、尻を叩いておいてくれ。
Okay, sure. Momose raised her eyebrows. Kunosato hung up.
ちょっと厳しいんじゃない？
事実です。
It's not what I meant, Momose began.
近しい人が亡くなってしまった気持ちは、ミオちゃんも知ってるじゃない。
Her... Oh, is she just Senna in disguise? Kunosato looked down as if searching her own feelings. Then she looked up as if nothing had happened, turned back to her computer.
私は利己主義ですから。失恋した男女同士がくっつくような傷の舐め合いはヘドが出ます。同情するのもされるのもごめんです。
So she lost a boy she loved? It's... I'm trying to think of what's been said. So Arimori lost a sibling. That's what I'm getting this confused with. Kunosato lost something romantic to her. That can't be a character we know, right? What male character? There's the streamer guy, significantly older, and the guy at the love hotel that Arimori talking to. I don't think it's either of them.
舐め合いかどうかはともかく、私は同情って優しさだと思ってるわよ。
気持ちはわかる。だから頑張れという言葉ほど人を突き放すものはないと思いますが。
何も言わなくていいのよ。そういうのは自然に伝わるもんだから。
I've always been bad at that kind of thing. Like when someone's going through something tough, like you can't just say, oh yeah, you know, that sucks, do your best. Like that feels so empty to me. So I kind of get what Kunosato means, although I mean, saying I only care about myself, you know, that's a little...
きちんとそうすることができる人を大人っていうの。
Kunosato chuckled as she looked at the screen.
私は未成年です。
Then Momose chuckled too. Is that a lie?
それが問題なのよね。
She sighed. I mean, I would love it a lot more if Kunosato was actually like, I don't know, like 24, just disguising herself as a high school girl for some reason. Which, you know, it'd make a little more sense. Hi, Harimura. Detect any lies?
あら有村ちゃん、寝てていいのよ。ろくに休んでないでしょ。
Kunosato turned around and saw that Arimura had gotten off the sofa. She looked like she wanted to say something, said she just took a deep breath.
大丈夫です。それより何か分かったんですか？
When Momose told her that they found Miyashio, Arimura looked genuinely relieved.
そうですか。よかった。
Best girl's gonna join up with us and we're gonna fight crime.
有村、お前、尾上の過去を聞いたことはあるか？
Kunosato suddenly looked away from the monitor and spoke to her.
尾上の過去だ。そうだな。例えば小学生の時の話とか。
She was caught off guard by the sudden question, but Arimura was able to answer quickly.
宮代先輩の幼馴染だっていうことだけですね。それ以外は何も。
She'd only gotten to know Serika about a month ago. All they'd ever talked about was the case. She didn't know much at all about Serika's private life.
どんな些細なことでもいい。過去に関して尾上が嘘を言っていたことはなかったか？
ないと思います。セリ、彼女は嘘が少ない人でしたから。
She lied some, though? That was the truth. Arimura was capable of recognizing even common courtesy and jokes as lies. That's why she knew how filled with lies most people's conversations were. That was the real reason why everything she said at school was a joke. Nothing made her more upset than when she was talking about something serious. The person she was speaking with responded with a lie. That's why she told jokes. Everyone around her joked back. It's a lot easier that way. Out of all the people she knew, Ito and Serika from the newspaper club were some of the ones who lied the least. Was that because they were being mind controlled so that it wasn't a lie? They just weren't any good at it. But to Arimura, that's a greater blessing than the others could imagine. Well, Serika might not be mind controlled. It's, you know, obviously the fact that she's not real. And without the Garo Frog, he lacks the capacity to lie. Maybe, I don't know. That's why it had been such a shock. Might not have been as bad for her as it was Miyashio, but she felt like she'd been betrayed by someone who was more than a friend. When Kunosato realized that she wasn't going to get anything useful out of Arimura, she turned back to her computer.
彼女のこと何か分かりそうですか？
わからない。お手上げというやつだ。
She sighed and clicked the monitor with her fingers.
ここは調査会社だ。さらに新庄さんが持っているネットワークも使える。人探しや身辺調査はお箱なんだよ。だが、どれだけ遡っても中学以前の記録が出てこない。あいつが第三者的な情報として最初に登場するのは2009年の11月だ。
That's when the big earthquake happened. Because Chaos said it was 2009, right? Then November is like right after the final murder. Well, I think the earthquake happened a couple days after final murder. I don't know the date. Arimura gasped.
渋谷地震があった月ですよね。
正確には
2 weeks.
地震から約2週間後の11月21日 AH 東京総合病院の系列病院のカルテにその記録が残っている。
She had to be Takuru's like wish as a gigalomaniac.
ところがそれ以前のデータはどこにも残っていない。出生届も就学の記録もそれどころか戸籍すら見当たらない。さらに言うと
Kunosato's face took an even sterner look as she pulled up a medical record. The specific medical record belonged to Miyashiro Takuyo. So he's Takuyo. I'm right? No. He's always talking to himself. Acts out to your all. Sarah Kelly is fake was act. Oh. I swear. Okay, I don't think I was spoiled on that one. Like, admittedly, this was like 4 years ago when I started this thing. 5 years ago now? 4.5 or something. Like, did I... no. Like, I can see the reasoning I used to come up with this, but I'm like, past Horsey, did you know? Now that this happened so long ago, I'm worried, like, did I like see a stray comment that put it in my subconscious? Like, not like a direct spoiler, right? Like an indirect one. Like, you know, it was like the movie Inception, it incepted it there. It is possible. Because there is one like spoiler, like quotation marks, that always stayed in my head. I remember seeing someone talking about Chaos Child, I think it was episode 8, where you're like, oh, this character just died. And I still remember that to this day. Episode 8, someone dies. Look it up. I don't know if that's true. Back when the anime was airing, I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here. And that's when, you know, I left. But anyway, hold on, let's read this. When I came up with the name Onoi, now he uses it constantly. Patient, my parents are never at home, so I spend time with my friend. Onoi, who's always around. Family difficulties. The patient, a doctor wrote this. It sucks. The parents who view family life very differently. Family difficulties. Patient is stable, but portrays unnatural and cannot tell what that word is. Tendencies constantly. Reacts defensively. Backing himself and showing dependency on the aforementioned friend. Heavily relying on an imaginary friend. Determined circumstances of suppling life. Rendition strategies. Next, confirmed by assessment. Describe after. Let's say what the doctor is. This was 06. Okay, so 2006. Or I think 11/27. Serica's actually not real. I'm not. I'm so happy right now. Like, I think a big, so remember, it was Chaos Head. I was kind of thinking of that. And there's another visual novel that did this twist, right? I don't want to say the name of it because that's a spoiler. Maybe like, how could I allude to it without spoiling it? Like, okay, I'll tell you the year it came out on Steam, okay? Hold on. It came out on Steam in 2016, okay? And well, can I say it has 49 achievements on Steam, okay? So if you know the game, if you think you know what I'm talking about, go look at Steam, see how many achievements it has and the year it came out. And if that's right, then it's the one I'm talking about. It's basically the main character had to, well, the circumstances are a little different, but basically they had an imaginary friend who, and it's like a big twist at the end of like a big climax of the game, right? And like there's more to it than that, but I don't want to get into it. So like, did people talk around Serica a lot? Like, I know there's that one chapter at the end, like before the cultural festival, but that was like episode like 15. I had the theory a long time before that. Anyway, sorry, thanks for the meal.
気にしないでいい。正直、この味には飽きてるんだ。
But honestly, if I saw another YouTuber predict that, I'd be like, oh yeah, they read spoilers. I swear. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. They finished eating the calorie block. Shinjo-san threw the wrapper in the trash. He said that whenever he was running around on a case, he always kept 2 or 3 with him. I ate them a lot too, so I knew what he meant about being sick of them. I eat the chocolate ones a lot too.
そうか。
I didn't know how long I'd been crying for. It was the first time I'd cried until my lungs and throat hurt. Now I'm thinking like, oh god, in Ace Attorney, there's a character I've been saying he's not actually dead, he's actually like, he has to be dead. I'm too good. I need a loss. Right? Shinjo-san had offered me a handkerchief and quietly waited a long time for me to finish. After I'd fallen silent, I couldn't find any new tears to wipe away with the handkerchief, my stomach suddenly rumbled. Until then, I hadn't even felt like drinking water. After a full day of no food, my body began to demand it. Shinjo-san was fiddling with his cell phone, seemed to be checking his messages. Then he turned to me, questioningly.
宮代くん、すまないが、聞きたいことがあるんだ。
I could tell he was asking if that would be okay. Felt like tears were going to start again, but I held them back. Looked down at Nono's letter, but holding it so hard that it got crumpled in my hands. Don't think about revenge. Don't do anything dangerous. I know. I'm fine, no. I'm not fine at all. I'm fine. So, Sarika didn't appear until 2009, so... But it's been said that something in Takuru's past made... That, I think it was before the earthquake, made... I think it was Amy-chan interested in him. Am I misremembering that? Or was it his past, like, before the present? Because, like, I could see why, you know, they would be interested in Sarika, you know, fake human. Ooh. Well, did Takumi have, like, special powers because he was fake? Or, like, I don't remember. But I remember he had, like, a super anime sword fight at the end. Or something, I don't know. So I assume, like, the ditzy Sarika is, like, Taku's, you know... That's what she's supposed to be, but she's been, like, controlled by someone or something. Or Darth Sarika, that's her name. Ooh. Like, might be the teacher, which he's evil, but I don't want him to be the mastermind behind it all. Like, Takuru's dad would make more sense to me. Like, even though I don't want that to be the case. Like, oh yeah, I'll set up this orphanage to act as a cover to, you know, take in this kid who has, you know, Sarika, who we want to use for diabolic committee stuff, ha ha ha. Touched the letters gently as I could. Then I looked at Shinjo-san with tear-swollen eyes and nodded. Go ahead, what is it?
尾上セリカのことだ。久野里さんと俺、それに百瀬さんも調べてるが、不明な点が多すぎる。覚えていることだけで構わない。最も古い、できれば最初に出会った頃のことから全てを話してほしい。
Wasn't sure how to process the complicated feelings I felt when he asked me that question. It was painful and unreal to think that my childhood friend was a murderer. It made me furious that I'd lost my best friend and both my sisters at the same time. It made me sad to think of the letter that Nono had written to me. I realized that I might never feel better again. He's just ignoring Uki. Yeah, he's not. And it made me feel pathetic to realize how I didn't want him to admit that Onoe Sariko was the cause of it all. It all mixed together, like a swamp that threatened to drown me down, pulled me deeper inside the abyss of my memory. When I first met Onoe, it was before I started elementary school. Can't remember the exact date. She was my next door neighbor. She'd come over and play with me a lot. So that's right. Born in 1997, it was the same year I started elementary school. We were in 2004. We played together almost every day. Like a little sister to me. I do remember that at first, I got her picture books that I'd only just learned to read myself. Her family was a lot like mine. I'll tell you about mine then. As an only child, and both my parents worked. They both worked at an IT company back when there weren't very many of those. They met each other there. Work was all they cared about. It was only years later that I learned that normal people didn't eat all 3 meals with a babysitter. Around the time I started elementary school, I started going online using one of their old computers. Common for me to be up past midnight even then, but my parents didn't know that. I think they just didn't care. I remember at least 2 birthdays where they just left me a present and a note saying that they were sorry they couldn't make it. Okay, so, well, I was about to say they weren't abusive. This is a form of abuse, but they were neglectful parents. The year after the last one, there wasn't even a present. The year after that, there wasn't even a note. Part of the way through elementary school, mostly stopped going to class. So you didn't have like a well, well, you could call this strategy, but it's just his parents weren't parenting him, so it's just like, yeah, screw class. My homeroom teacher called when I was in 3rd grade. My mom happened to be home that day, so she picked up the phone. She looked annoyed when she talked to them. She said her husband was the one who took care of all that, and hung up. She didn't tell me to go to school, or even that I didn't have to go. Dad didn't even know the teacher's name. At the time, they learned online that this was what they called low-level child neglect. What's high level? Like, not feeding them and stuff? There it goes the same. Actually, I think her situation was worse than mine. She always used to tell me I was lucky because I got a credit card. I didn't have a babysitter at that point, so I had to get my own food. Once I learned how to use the card, I'd split the food I bought with Sarika. I don't think her parents hit her or anything either. Oh, but there's one time when she ran over to my place and was really scared. She said her parents had tried to force her to go to a hospital. That paralleling with what happened to him? Though I don't know the details. Her parents supposedly said all kinds of awful things about how she was crazy and wasn't normal. I think it was a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Someone who worked at a hospital like that. Tried for a long time. Which is why I let her stay in my room for a while. My parents never cleaned it, and never looked inside of it either. Thinking back, we're probably together all the time when I was little. No, I never met Sarika's parents. She said they were almost never home. I don't think I ever went to her home either. They didn't have a computer, so there's no reason for me to visit. Okay. She had a GameCube though. You could have played Kirby Air Ride. I'm not sure. I don't think she went to school a lot. Never saw her playing with anyone except me. We're busy finding information on the internet. They're much smarter than... Oh, never mind. When we were in 4th grade, 2 years before the earthquake, we heard a rumor about Amy-chan, urban legend. So the two of us snuck into the basement of the hospital to look for it. I wonder, is this real? Like, it can't be fake, but like, how did Takrio get in? I feel like... I don't know. Tokyo General Hospital. The reason why we did it was because we loved doing stuff like that, both Sarika and I. That's where we saw the experiment being performed on Minamisawa. We got scared and ran. At the time, I couldn't even imagine what was actually happening there. That was the first time we both went outside and snuck into somewhere else. Sarika? I think she was scared. I remember thinking that I needed to protect her. But I think that both of us were equally excited. We'd been able to learn something that no one else knew about. Sariko told me I should go to school and tell everyone what I saw, so I did. But of course, everyone thought I was lying. I started researching the sumo stickers and other urban legends. We even made a webpage about it to investigate it together. When we were in 6th grade, the New Gen Madness started. That's 2009. Like having a fever dream or something. First, we couldn't believe something like that was happening in the city we lived in. Spent almost the whole day glued to the computer, following the news. Something big like that was going on. Take your eyes off the internet for even a few hours, you'll get left behind. We stayed up all night in shifts following the case. Sometimes we used our cell phones to check the internet, as we always went out to the crime scenes and took pictures. More and more murders kept happening. Eventually people started to say that Nishijo Takumi was the killer, but he ended up proving them wrong. Sarika and I both got very excited. He seemed so cool! Thought that proving your innocence meant getting the right information, shoving it in the faces of the people whose information was bad. Okay, like the ultimate expression of what I was trying to do back then. But I suppose I'm still trying to do now. The newspaper club. Sarika said he was amazing. I agreed. The first person to ever say that about Takumi. That's how you know she's not real. When the earthquake happened, Sarika and I were near the old front building. Nishijo-san was causing a commotion there at the time. We wanted to see. Suddenly, there's a high-pitched noise. Everything went white. Is that when the earthquake happened? After he confronted the, Still trying to be vague about chaos and spoilers. I remember the confrontation scene. That was when it happened. First, we didn't think it was an earthquake. Thought it was a bomb or something. The ground bounced up and down like a trampoline, and several of the telephone poles near us fell over. We hear the screaming and the sound of breaking glass. Someone yelled, "Earthquake!" That's how I knew it was an earthquake. Anyway, Sarika and I ran away so we wouldn't get caught up in the people panicking. We didn't know where we were running, but we didn't want to be there. We got caught up in the crowds. Sarika and I were quickly separated. When that happened, I got scared. All of a sudden, I couldn't move. I got pushed over and fell, then I crawled behind something. The shaking had stopped. What scared me more than the earthquake was the way everyone around me changed in an instant. Spent a long time in that spot, unable to move. The idea of going home never occurred to me. There's no way I could rely on my parents for help. At the time, I thought that no place in Shibuya was still standing. I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, I found Serika passed out near me. I must have pushed down and hit her head. Maybe she hadn't been able to handle what she was seeing. She had passed out. I said that I had to save her. So that was like a self-preservation? Not an instinct, but something like that. The information online said that Yoyogi was relatively undamaged. The hospital there was accepting patients. I carried her on my back and started walking there. And then... no, never mind. Anyway, I just kept walking. Finally, reached AH Tokyo General Hospital. It turned into a temporary shelter. Serika looked like she was in pain the whole way there. She didn't wake up. I saw my parents there. Then, collapsed from a terrible headache. That's all I remember from the earthquake. When I woke up, I was in Alba dorm, and a year had passed while I was in a coma. That's where I met Nono and the others. So, wait, so is that Darth Serika or Senrika? It's tough. Sorry, I'm fine. I heard what happened there from Nono and Serika. Serika woke up at the hospital and saw me unconscious. She stayed with me the whole time. When AH Tokyo General Hospital overflowed with patients, I was moved to one of the other hospitals in their network, and she came with me. She wasn't in good shape either. I guess she didn't want to go home. She refused to leave my side. People from the hospital saw her. They put her into care. Counseling, I mean. She said her parents died in the earthquake. So did mine. Given the circumstances, the hospital didn't seem to mind her staying there with me. Once things started to calm down, they sent her home. I found some relatives who agreed to help her get a place, what she has now. And every day after that, she came to visit me in the hospital. See, that's when you think about that for 2 seconds, that seems highly unrealistic. But also it's anime, so it could happen. But like, she was like a sixth grader at the time? There's no way she could live alone. No, I don't know. I think she said they were relatives who lived a long way away. I don't know their name. Sorry. Some time passed. Since there's nobody to take me in, I was moved to Alba dorm. But she still stayed by my side the whole time. That's when she met Nono, I guess. They were good friends. When I woke up after more than a year, I had trouble moving. Nono helped me with my physical therapy. Serika would come to check in on me all the time. Nono would happily tell her my progress. Family was very, very important to Nono. Serika was the one person outside the family that she called by her first name, not her last. Two of them would go out and visit all different crepe shops in Shibuya. Since Serika didn't have any interest in makeup or clothing, Nono would take her shopping for them. They really were good friends. Yeah, best friends. But after my therapy ended and I could walk, I started going to school more and more. Yes, that middle school. Given special permission to be in second year, along with the other kids my age. Serika did the same as a first year student. After the earthquake, while I was in a coma, she started going to school. It was hard living on her own, but Nono would take care of her, and her relatives sent her plenty of money. She seemed to be doing better than she was at her old house, just like Takuya was doing better than he was at his old house. No, there's nothing strange, I think. Went to Hekiyo Academy, because they offered free tuition for orphans of the earthquake. A year later, so did Serika. Okay, she's a year younger, okay. We both joined the newspaper club and did things there. It was exactly as you saw it, I think. Spent a lot of time with us at school, but she had her own friends in her own class. Name one. She wasn't part of any other groups. It didn't seem like they were ignoring her or anything. Wink wink. Never seen her with anybody suspicious. She wasn't the type of person to keep secrets. But I didn't have a charger, she just handed me her phone and let me use it. That's the kind of girl she was. When Takuya actually had a second. Wait. We never actually saw Takuya go out and buy a second phone. You think that's where he got his phone? Like, because remember, he just said, oh yeah, I got a second phone after like a time skip. Yes. Serika was a normal high school kid, just like the rest of us. Let's stop it there. Yeah, I think that's a good stopping point. I am hyped beyond belief. You don't even know. Like, Chaos Shout came back so hard. Like, I still think everything from the basically like the end of the hospital scene to basically the 5th murder, all of that, it's garbage. Get rid of it. Trash it. Well, okay, that's harsh, but it spends way too long in that period of time. That part really should have been condensed. It had no need to be that long. But like now, it's just going, and I love it. And I don't know how much longer is left. Like, with this reveal out of the way, like, they just have to make someone laugh evilly. Ah, I'm the mastermind, and then like give us like a sword fight or something. But although I don't know how the common route will handle that. I'm still thinking it's gonna be like how Chaos said Noah does it. Like the end of the common route, it's just the head of Chaos head, but it cuts off and you don't. I think it applies to that. I don't know if he does die or if it just cuts off prematurely. Like before, like Yumi shows up or something. I don't really remember. But he's looking at the building and he's like, "Oh, it's been so good. Goodbye, world." So I don't know. Look, Chaos Head was a long time ago. Okay. Anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.